Welcome back to day one of the 2014 Spring Split. I'm Rivington Vision III, and taking over the analyst desk with me is Joshua Chat Leesman. Now, earlier in the broadcast, we asked you, which player move do you think will have the biggest impact for his team and why? Here's what you've been saying. At Not Chester says, there's a new Seraph in town, and his addition to CLG will bring the team the much-needed power to finish top 2.
Yeah, I wonder what Chester thinks, but I agree with this one. It was a really nice move. We saw them dismantle the number 4 team from last split in Curse, and I can't wait to see the rest of their games.
Absolutely. Our next one from at Rory SG. Shifter moving to Dignitas. That Shifter/Crumbs combo is going to be a stomp on other mid lanes.
And I can't wait to see that game in particular. It's what's coming up next. Dignitas with really strong solo lanes from Team Coast. How powerful is that team going to be? Or will some of their old weaknesses with Baron and all the other things still come back to haunt them? Can't wait to see it.
And our next tweet comes from at Matthew Maxwell. Definitely special. He's not only mechanically sound, but his situational awareness is incredible. Them initiations.
Yeah, I agree with that one. It didn't work out for them in game 1, but it is a long season. You can speculate about what would happen, but you can't draw any conclusions yet. And there was one other tweet actually from Soul Droppa. I think the return of Rivington will have the biggest impact for the caster team. Glad to see him back in action. I personally agree with that because having the 4th caster around, especially Rivington, is nice.
It's good to be home. Definitely back with the family heart as well to the tweeters out there. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for everyone who wrote in, though. And remember, you can keep sending your thoughts to @LOL Esports. Use the hashtag LCS. Now, as we gear up for our next match, Complexity is a team that have fought hard to earn a spot in the LCS. But now that the thrill of getting in has faded, they say that the battle has only just begun.
1, 2, 3, I guess it was really surreal the day we qualified. Like, I almost didn't believe it.
It feels like it hasn't settled in still. You're on a clean slate and you have everyone to prove wrong.
Is it gonna be enough? Robert takes it down. Complexity Black make it into the LCS. Wow, freak.
I'm glad that I'm finally here. You know, it took me almost a year and a half to finally be able to play an LCS game, so I'm very looking forward to playing my first LCS game.
Okay, we made it. We made it into the LCS, but we still haven't played in it. We don't know the feeling yet.
Right now, we're the underdogs on LCS by far over everyone. So right now, we have a lot of minds to change, and we have a lot to prove, so I'm really excited that I'm in that position to do that.
Getting a house or getting the team together and getting the right, crew and getting, allocating all the resources, it definitely starts feeling like this is very, very serious. Like, we have to be very serious about this because one mistake could really screw us over.
I'm like one of the oldest players, and I just need to keep up with the new players that are coming in. I feel like I can still make it big, and it just takes a lot of work. Hopefully I'll do well.
We're gonna have our house, we're gonna have our computers, and we're finally gonna be able to sit as 5 and play 8-hour scrims a day. The improvement that's gonna happen in the next week is gonna be exponential compared to anything that's happened during the amateur scene.
We understand that there's going to be a lot of growing pains. It's going to be an incredibly bumpy road.
As a goal as a team, I think we're just looking to not be in the bottom 3.
We might not be the first place on a team right now, but we can compete for it in the future. If we just keep the right mindset and not let, some losses that are, inevitable, they're going to happen, not let them get to our head. Eventually, we're going to break through, and it's going to happen soon, sooner than later, hopefully.
Sooner than later. The goal is to go upwards, keep going, now. Be the #1 team eventually.
That's always the goal.
Yeah.
#1.
So they got.
If you're not first, you're last.
It's true. Even
No,
if you're
it's not
second
true.
place, you're still not first place. There you go. So we're going to see how they can do it. It's time for our next match, Dignitas versus Complexity. Now for Complexity, this is their first game in the North American LCS since they took out Team Coast in the promo tournament.
Yeah, and Complexity were considered the underdogs in the Challenger League. You'll remember that Team Coast had the first choice of who they would face in the Summer Promotion Tournament, and they chose to face Complexity. But Complexity surprised Coast, and they made them pay for choosing them. They fought their way through 4 games to take that series.
And they overall played really strong as a unit. They're once again going to face off against the same solo lanes they faced in the promo tournament. Zion, Spartan, and Shifter are once again playing, and they've been picked up by Dignitas.
And that could be a good thing for Complexity because Prawley performed extremely well against Shifter, but Shifter has had time to collect himself now, and he's got a solid team behind him heading into this season with very high hopes. I mean, Dignitas, they've been looking for a new solo laner for a long time. And they finally got what they wanted. Now it's time to see how quickly can they integrate Shifter and Zion into the new squad, and how quickly can they make use of Skara's coaching. Can he shore up those problems that they've had around the Baron pit?
Well, we're going to check out the starting lineups here. On the blue side, it's going to be Complexity. West Rice in the top lane, Broken Shard in the jungle, Prolly in mid, Robert X. Lee on AD carry, and Dub It Up on support.
And on the red side, it's Dignitas. Up top, Zion Spartan. In the jungle, Crumbs. Mid, Shifter, AD carry, Cutie Pie, and supporting, Kiwi Kid.
So these 10 guys going to be joining under the Rift. Basically, I really want to say they're both two new teams to the LCS. I think when you switch out 2 guys on your roster, especially solo lanes, I think more than anything else, it really modifies how you play as a team, right? We talk about Dignitas being a team that they had kind of like a lack in their solo lanes, right? Where like Cruiser, he was good, but he wasn't able to kind of beat all those really, really top guys. Where Zion like single-handedly carried some games for Coast. Shifter the same. Like they were able to single-handedly beat top teams. This is something that Dig haven't had for a really long time.
The thing is, these solo laners have had very high highs. They've also had pretty low lows.
True.
Everybody remembers the games where Zion gets completely shut out and he's unable to affect the game. We'll have to see which one shows up here, because they are working with a new jungler, and that's the most important partner for both solo lanes.
I'm going to see how this all combines. Nidalee Banda away from Shifter Kassadin. Every single time that champion getting removed there. The pick and ban stats, by the way, are from the summer split. From the spring split just a couple months ago.
Also, for the West Rice fans, Rengar is currently banned globally, so we don't get to see the Rengar from West Rice. Very big fan of that. I'm sad too, because there's a lot of neat tricks with the new Rengar.
Well, he can just play Warwick or Garen or Kennen, bring those champs back out.
He does have an interesting champ pool. He's not afraid of going against the meta and using something that no other top laners are currently using.
Absolutely the case. Well, it's going to be Jack's band away from Zion Spartan, which I guess unfortunately for Dignitas is now a meta pick. So it's actually a common ban for these guys. They're more used to playing against it. But Zion was kind of playing it before it was cool. He's the hipster top laner. Now it's going to be on West Rice to be that guy.
Yeah, it's an interesting couple bans here from Complexity, because not only do they ban out the 2 biggest champions for Shifter and Zion that they used during their coast periods, but they also ban out Evelyn, who helps both solo lanes just by being in the game. So it's sort of another solo lane oriented ban there, even though they're banning out a jungler. And all the solo lane bans for Dignitas means that the mid lane has shrunk so much, West Rice is playing to the bans.
There you go. Well, it's going to take all 60 seconds to hover when that Lee Sin comes through. It's a Broken Shard special, but also a champion that West Rice very much enjoys.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to take that one for a while.
Very versatile champion right there. I like to call that the flex pick.
Yep.
You go to many different locations, even mid lane, even support.
True, we've seen that. I mean, Lee Sin's so strong, he can't help but flex pick. Taking the toss now, 40 seconds to make their first 2 choices. Zion and Crumbs, I gotta say, first time seeing this duo together, I do want to see how it pans out. LeBlanc still available for a shift in the mid lane if he wants it. And actually, according to Complexity, talking to them before the promo tournament, they said LeBlanc was queen of the mid lane. You could pick her against anything. And then there was 1 tier below with 3 other champions.
Well, when I talked about the solo lane bans here, a lot of the Dignitas bans were actually solo lane, just straight up mid lane bans.
Yeah, all of them.
And with the first pick also taking away another mid laner, it leaves up maybe like Orianna here for Prolly. We'll probably expect him to go with one of those safer ones, but he doesn't have to lock it in early, so they can go ahead and counterpick either of those solo lanes much later. They can wait until they see Dignitas team develop here, even though they've already showed pretty heavy pick there with LeBlanc.
And one of the best split pushes in the game as well is Shyvana, so you know Dignitas gotta wait around for a while and play the map, and their team's gonna work pretty well for this one. Complexity, if it is gonna be the jungle Lee Sin, it's gonna be all about early playmaking, but Kha'Zix's still available, Elise still available, other high priority picks are available for these guys. They're taking the time with this one. Lucian also, like, there's been no support or AD carry bans. We're waiting all the way down to the 4th and 5th pick to see if we maybe see those champs.
As you mentioned it, they do lock it in. Now, Twitch has been slightly above Lucian, everybody really preferring this champion, just so you can get those assassination picks when teams are moving between objectives. In the mid game, there's so much travel time now in the game, and so much switching of lanes, so many people coming to new lanes, disappearing from the map and returning. Twitch really thrives in this new meta. Yeah. It's been shown time and time again. The Blade of the Ruined King Rush, it's a huge, huge force on the map, similar to that Evelyn that was actually banned out by Complexity.
Well, instead it's going to be a fairly similar lane matchup there. Dignitas also in front of the big mage supports there in Zyra. The crowd was chanting "Do it," by the way, when Urgot was hovered over. I was trying to decipher that while listening to you, but that was the attempt there. Teemo, of course, my favorite champion. Please do lock in if you can. Yeah, we actually saw in Cloud9 vs TSM, Lucian die to Twitch in the mid game once they both had their first big item. Something that Amikitube will have to play around.
I really do like this 2 vs 2 matchup if they did meet up too, because it'd be very action-packed.
Oh yeah.
Both of these supports add even more damage than the ADs in the early game here. Karma and Zyra are probably 2 of the highest damage supports that there are for the early levels, and they're both extremely strong at harassing from range. The only thing is that Zyra has a bit of an easier time because she can work with the minions to block the Karma shot, and she can just pop plants up underneath you versus the Karma and Twitch.
Well, last 2 picks come through for Complexity, though. Dr. Mundo going to be grabbed, most likely for the top lane. And the Lulu pick gives me pause, actually, because Bubba known as a big Lulu main. Though traditionally, Lulu's the mid lane or Karma's the support, you could see that the other way around.
Ever since that Bjergsen Penta, you got to keep that in the back of your mind. Karma mid lane is a very real possibility, but they won't hold on to that right now.
Last pick is Elise, though, for Crumbs. The rest of these picks we can easily kind of square down and say this is definitely the lineup there. So Elise does come through. No jungle mans at all, and Elise, Lee Sin are the ones that people go for in this.
Yeah, very popular junglers. As we said, there are pretty much those 4 top junglers at the moment. The Evelyn, Elise, Lee Sin, and Kha'Zix. 2 of them picked up here because you have to spend so many bans if you want to take out the jungle pool. But really, what's interesting to me is Westrice on Mundo. Now, Westrice has a tendency to go very deep and go very aggressive. You know, start farming behind a turret very early.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful with Mundo. I think this pick may actually force him to change his playstyle and give a new look for Complexity. He'll play further back, especially if we do get those 2v0 situations where he's jungling.
True. Or he's tanky enough that it doesn't matter. He's covered up his weakness by playing overaggressive, by being unkillable. Maybe. He'll play York next time. It'll continue that trend going. The teams have locked in their champ. Let's see who you guys have locked in to win. And according to LOLesports.com, 72% of you are tipping this in Dignitas' favor. You can continue to vote on Twitter by sending us your picks to @LOLesports using the hashtag COLWin or DIGWin for the team you think is going to prevail.
A lot of talk in there. Chatter from Dignitas and smiles from Complexity. So everybody's heading into the game with high hopes here, as they should be at the beginning of the season.
It's true. I mean, you got to figure, like, your champ pools are ready. There's only 3 bans. You've got to play something you're ready to play in the first place. And then you say, okay, you've had all this time to prep for your first match, get your stuff ready to go. And then it's just fun. Like, even if you do lose every single game, it's still fun. You're playing League of Legends for a living. Like, that never sucks.
Great ad for the game right there, Freak.
I'm just saying. It's a whole lot of fun.
All right. Yeah, something, though, that I'm very interested in is the communication on Dignitas. They're notorious for having their in-game communication just being sporadic and just filled with a lot of jokes and laughter. Now, if you do clog up your communications with jokes like that, yeah, it's good to be good-natured and everybody on the same page and having fun, but in the game, you need to be making those split-second calls. You need to have everybody on the same page, not necessarily the time for the jokes.
Are you telling me that jokes have no place in professional League of Legends?
I would never say that.
Thank you. Okay, good. I'm safe now. I like this. So Dignitas, they opened up with a sweeper, and I was wondering to see if teams would do this. Because you know wards are coming out early on. You can get 10 free gold for sweeping on a ward, and get rid of
cost you mana, Freak. It's not free. What? Did I teach you? Nothing is free.
No, the sweeper.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 10 gold from the Karma queue.
No. Oh, and that's good too. That's depends how many people you hit.
Everybody's rich.
Yeah. So much cash dollars in this game. I know Millennium used to run Blue Trinket a couple times.
Sweepers cost you cooldowns.
True. You have opportunity cost. You don't get a free ward.
There you go.
You kill one then.
All right. Anyway, we do have the defensive wards coming down. There's been so much talk about, new trinkets. Basically, the new trinkets are amazing because you can use them after only 30 seconds, but they still only last 1 minute. So it's not like you can just defensively ward your buff at the beginning of the game and then go for your invade and be confident that nobody's going to your buff because your trinket ward will just run out. Yeah. That's why everybody is still waiting for these later invades, waiting till at least the 140 mark. And now everybody going 144, jump in onto another buff. It's pretty much the same old story, except that both teams actually have vision during this time, so they see the invades happening. Everybody feels much more confident in the beginning of the game, and we have the classic swaps of AD carry and support.
We do have some different plays, though. Dignitas is actually soloing buffs with Crumbs, while Zion Spartan's jungling by himself, like this wolf camp down here. Meanwhile, Complexity is actually sharing experience in gold. So I want to see how it pans out with the 2 single jungles versus the double jungle.
If you are going to have 2 single junglers, Shyvana is not a bad choice as far as top lane semi-jungles are concerned, especially if he starts Burnout. So it probably should not hurt them that bad. And as well, when you share lane experience, lane minions, you do get a bonus.
Yeah.
But when you share jungle camps, you do not get any sort of bonus, so it doesn't hurt them to be split up at all.
All right, well, right now, level 2 on everybody involved, though a bit more XP on Crumbs still, to be fair. Looks like Complexity are not looking for that 4-0 push. They're taking plenty of time going around the map. They are looking to this mid lane, though. Shifter does not have any vision right now, the fact that Lee Sin's coming around behind him.
Yeah, neither mid laner with vision. It looks like Complexity will get... Wow, nice trinket!
Puts it down, good damage. Oh, Cleaver's going to hit for some damage as well, but there you go. Shifter down to 1/3.
I do that all the time. Throw down my trinket and just walk right by it.
Just look cool. Level 2 didn't have it.
Now this is a very gutsy move here. We've seen a couple top laners already today. Teleporting in, when you know there's only 2 people here, you're usually not worried about getting dove just 2v1 in the current meta. However, it can happen. Probably, though, gets a visit from Crumbs.
Silence comes in, big damage. He's not going to burn any summoner spells. First blood goes over to Crumbs in the mid lane.
All right, solo laner off to a great start here with the new jungler. Crumbs takes a little longer coming in for his gank, but he makes it pay. Probably goes down, not burning any summoners though, so at least he will still rely on that flash next time it comes around. And it is an early first blood, so it's not the giant amount of gold that he's going to have to catch up from.
And look at this, Broker Shard only now hits level 3 because of the double jungling. He only just now got Safeguard. So it's kind of a low-level jungler. Crumbs level 4 for himself, and so I feel like there's a very big difference in the level and like item lead for the Dignitas jungler. Westray's also taking gigantic damage just from the support.
Looks like it has shaken out. So he's going to have inflated CS numbers as well from killing plants, which only give you 5 gold. Misleading as far as the comparisons we're trying to make, but Dignitas have done a really good job here getting the wave to shove against them. So Westrice is just clawing, scratching and clawing to try and get any stray CS, any stray experience that he can. Whereas Zion has just opted to go straight for the jungle. It's a little bit more dangerous for Westrice, but he does have the cleavers and he's doing a good job soaking up experience here, even though the lane is pushing away from him.
And it's good moves by Cutie Pie that you saw him run up and tank the cleavers just to deny CS, to guarantee Westrice was farther down. See, Westrice, we've seen him gain 4 CS. 2 of those were plants so far. Pretty
now the wave. Basically, Westrice also, because the damage he's adding, he's getting that wave to shove into the turret quicker so that it will reset. And really the story of these games has become who can control the minion wave experience better, because minion waves are the most abundant source of experience on the map. And experience is the most important resource on the map this early in the game. That's why people stop taking turrets so early, because you only get gold for the outer turret. 650 gold is not worth however... Westrice is going to get attacked
big CC Ignite is on as well. He doesn't even bother trying to flash.
That was the more dangerous option.
Yep.
We saw him pay for it right there. No wards. Strays up into the river, but Broken Shard has a chance at a steal.
He does
Talk
have
about
his flash, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you could ward hop. No, his trinket's down. He can't even ward hop. He's got to land a blind Q at this point. Broken Shard, big damage. Zion Spartan flanks around the rim lands as well. This is not good for Lisa, and he flashes, but Zion, he's going to follow 3 kills to Dignitas, plus the dragon.
Well, this game, the story is all Dignitas this time around. It looks like the solo lanes are definitely paying off. Zion has had an easy time in the jungle, playing safer, while his top lane has been denied him. And then Shifter in the mid lane also making plays, being able to control it.
Yeah.
So everything really working out for Dig. And Crumbs finally gets his time to shine here. He is an extremely strong jungler, always at the top of the challenger ladder. And he actually plays many different roles as well, plays many different lanes, which allows him to understand how to gank a lane much better.
And he's playing freaking out of his mind. He's doing a very, very good job with the team, going for the standard ancient golem build as well on Elise. One thing you mentioned actually was Shifter and him making plays, doing really well in the mid lane. One thing I saw was very interesting. When Probably tags him with help picks, he uses distortion off to the side, and as soon as Glitterlance comes out, he respawns back to the point, which basically guarantees he dodges Glitterlance. I was like, that's a really cool move. I never thought of that before, but Shifter is pretty freaking good at this game.
And now he's level 6.
Yep.
He gets that kill pressure that he's been waiting for with LeBlanc. You can see Probably does back off, and he gives up those few CS just because he's worried about being attacked from this top side. He does not have ward coverage on the top side river, so he does not want the exact same thing to happen to him before, where Crumbs comes down and falls on his face.
It's interesting, though, actually, is Probably's up 12 CS, 14 CS in this lane. Even though he got killed for first blood, he's actually getting Shifter away from minions pretty often here.
And there goes Crumbs.
Crumbs. Red buff's on. No Cocoon even attempted there. Just puts the guaranteed damage down.
So again, good play from Probly. Has to give up maybe a couple CS in the process. Blue buff will help him in that area, though. And we said before, he did great against Shifter when Shifter was on Coast.
Yeah, he's continued to do extremely well. Brookshire taking big damage, though, forced to jump away. He's trying to get back on cooldown for not a very useful ward.
Ooh, closing in here. Bubba needs to back out. Might even be too late.
Ooh, he's got nowhere to go. Pulls the TP in from Westrise. The TP does not. Oh, it does get stopped. They take it back. He's going to flash away. Bubba trying to get out for this one. Robert X. Lee, though, coming up with the rat-a-tat-tat. Big damage down, Kiwi Kid. Forced to run away. No kills.
Also, look at this movement here from Probly. Roaming straight up the river. And he flashes in for it!
Ooh, gets rid of though anyway, just the same. Now Kiwi Kid forced to, sorry, I'm a cutie by trying to run away. He does survive in this one, but burns his flash for it. Bubdub's root would have landed. So, a lot of trades of summoners, but no kills.
Yeah, those are all just flash trades though. Pretty even across the board. Not too much missed here. Big lead in gold from both the kills, as well as some CS here for Dignitas.
All right, so Complexity now. We're going to watch this one. They've managed to stop dying for a little bit. They've got 2,000 gold down.
Crumbs is looking to continue that, though. Ooh, if Robert goes aggressive here, it's perfect timing for Dig.
And the root's going to land on Robert. The ulti lands as well from Lucian. All the bullets almost hit, but now Crumbs in from the side. Bubba ignited after the heal, I believe, but down to 200 health. Crumbs will repel, not go in for the fight. Robert X. Lee by himself pushes the rest of them away, keeps his teammate alive.
Cutie Pie may have that BF sword, but he does not have sustain for this lane either. Robert has been able to heal straight back up because he can continue to auto-attack the wave, and that gives him control of the entire top lane here, even without jungle support. It's a small win for Complexity because having the jungler show up top frees up Broken Shard to try and make something happen elsewhere on the map. Bottom side is dark. He could go for ward coverage inside the blue, but really he's just putting defensive pinks up and farming.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Okay, so it's all going to be everyone backing off. Complexity do get first turret kill. You got to say the fact that he's got some sustain, the fact that the ganks got turned around, and some good stuff with all this one. Westrace about a minute to go on his own teleport. He didn't cancel it, so it's only the 3-minute cooldown. And he's going to have that before too long. Westrace actually is holding up very nicely against Zion Spartan. 154 in minions. The one death earlier on I'm going to ignore for now, but the fact that is he's getting his items in.
You know what? As far as solo lane comparisons go too, Probably is punishing Shifter very well for Shifter's roaming. And then he follows it up with the roam of his own. So they didn't even lose map pressure because of it. Even though Shifter got there first, Probably got an extra wave of minions and was able to join and trade flashes.
Yeah, and now he's got a 20 minion lead because of that one. Dignitas is short for the mid lane though with a couple of guys, actually 4 of them there, only Lucian in the top lane, but they're forced to back away very quickly. Looks like the defense from Bubba and Probably is plentiful.
It's a good thing for Complexity as well that Robert's having such a strong early game. He's been able to shift him down to the bottom where he has another safe lane to farm. You could see that lane is going to be held by his turret as well. They want to get that Twitch to the Blade of the Rune King as quickly as possible. As we said, this Dig team is going to be moving around the map quite a lot because they're looking for picks of their own with Elise LeBlanc. But when you're looking for picks, it also opens you up to getting caught in compromising positions by someone who's invisible.
Ooh, nice move shifted. We're going to get caught out by Brokenshard there. Can he get over the wall? Ooh, the kick not quite enough. Good Lance barely misses as well. Shifter gets away, but loses the summoner for it.
They take that opportunity, though. Dig just got a lot of ward coverage down on this bottom side of the map, with Brokenshard showing mid. And since they didn't get the kill out of it, not too bad here. Crumbs actually does stop it.
Nice play there by Crumbs. All right, but now look at this. I just kind of keep taking stock of the game, though, because the kills keep turning into not too much. But actually, hold on. Zion Spartan, good damage on a West Race, putting him down below half. But Complexity are within 1,000 gold now. This team gave up 3 kills on a Dragon and are clawing their way back in steadily after the laning phase. CS-wise, they're winning a majority of their lanes. Even the support's up 1. It's a good thing for Complexity.
Yeah, I think a lot of Complexity's hopes are going to rely on the power of that Twitch, too, combined with this Lulu mid. Probably is going to be a big part of keeping him safe if he does get caught out. Another Dragon, though. This is going to be very detrimental for Complexity, unless he goes for another Miracle Steal. Here, Twitch can line up a very good line damage, though. Outside Dragon Pit, he doesn't go for it.
Brokenshard's got no way out of that one as well. He ward hops in, smites early, gives away the kill. Dignitas get kill and a Dragon out, putting them now almost 3,000 ahead.
And they don't decide to force the fight. I mean,
yeah.
both top laners do have teleport, and there's plenty of wards down there for him to join with, but nobody calling for that one. It was just Brokenshard trying to seal. I really thought Twitch getting people at the entrance to Dragon. Wow, Westrise has to be really careful, though.
Red buff Zion Spartan, though, really big damage. There's the flash from both of them. Dragon form gonna get juked away by Westrice. And if he can land into more cleavage, he's gonna get out of that one. Well played.
Look at his face, too. Calm as ever. Yep. Westrice barely escapes the jaws of death.
Probably takes a big chunk of damage there as well, but hey, Chalice is enough MR to keep him alive in this one. 55 MR in the block. Keeps Shifter pretty safe from counterattack as well.
Problem is here for Westrice is Zion has not gone back to purchase. That was even without Boots, without an upgraded Blade of the Ruin King. Zion, he will be able to upgrade that Blade of the Ruin King now. Yeah, when he goes back, he's going to get a huge influx of power.
Be something to be afraid of. We just got a Chain Vest added for Westrice, but you know, early Ruby Crystal and then not a Sunfire yet. That is going to be a bit of an item difference that you've got to track right here. Teleports available for Zion, not for Westrice now, but Dragon's not up, so that might not mean too much. Crumbs does walk through that brush. All right. He was in the LCS for a split. He knows about this one. Stays to make sure it's dead, watching its corpse decay into the ground. And now Crumbs looks to flank around the bot lane, around the mid lane, puts a ward, turns back.
Now, I talked about Zion's blade being completed, but Robert has his too. And I think he really needs to affect the rest of the map because Complexity are falling further behind here as they continue to take these dragons. They continue to control the objectives. So I think that Complexity, they really need to make something happen here with a surprise attack from Robert on one of these lanes. He does have the power to do it, but he's got to be careful about where he goes because if you show up right next to a LeBlanc, then you have to worry about getting 100 to 0.
Gotta play that one properly. It's interesting though, Dignitas seems like they're willing to play this game very slow. They just froze the bot lane. They were taking as much time as they could. Eventually it pushed out anyway. They look for the flank though, the dive from the bottom lane. No one is around to defend this. Zion though, gonna get himself into a 1v2.
Yeah, let's see if Westrice can actually bait him in here because of the red buff, Zion might get a little overconfident. Okay, his speed buff is down. It's time to go.
There we go. Dragon Form gets him away. Now can Brokenshard follow up? Lands the Q. Nice play right here. Good damage comes in. Now Zion easily kicked into the wall. That's a kill picked up.
They bait the burnout. After the speed buff is gone, they go for the kill. However, all resources from Dig have been spent bottom. They show everybody else down there, and yes, they get a turret. However, that's 2 lanes in Complexity's control. They shove both top and mid.
So probably getting good damage down on this one. Top lane. Of course, that turret's gone at this point anyway. Westrice going to get some free time to solo farm, builds a minion lead up over his opponents. Probably gets away, doesn't miss anything for that one. Shifter gets the remnants of that CS. And yeah, you can see the gold lead, 2,000 gold now. It was 3,000 before all those plays, but Complexity got more out of that.
Because they actually secured the kill up top, and as we said before, minion waves. They were able to farm 2 lanes with the minion waves during that time. Bottom tower was already extremely low, so losing that, not too detrimental for the Complexity team. It also allows longer lane for when that lane pushes back, another safe area to farm, little pocket of gold that they can get. Lulu is very safe at farming these mid lanes here. As you can see, great wave clear, and then that speed buff on herself to get back away from danger over to the side where she does have ward coverage, towards the bottom side of the map.
He's pretty safe in this one now. We're going to see what else can happen for these teams. Dignitas was playing the game fairly slow, had that measured push down to the bot lane. Zion got himself caught out. Shifter looks for plays, won't quite find that. No level lead in the mid laners, actually probably now hitting 11 first is a lead. More what's coming down on both sides this one. Dragon a minute and a half, but these teams are definitely taking very slow, measured advances.
And it's really been Dignitas, you know, with more movement across the map, trying to create those picks and being successful every once in a while, but it's been Complexity really doing a good job of evading them, buying Westrise time to scale that Mundo up, get him to the point where he actually can go where he pleases. He's actually done a good job of himself as well, dodging Zion. But this time, he's been cornered. 2 versus 3 would be okay if they were under the turret.
Charge, gigantic damage. Wardhop won't get him too very far. Crumb's still on the chase. There's the Q from Shifter. Kill picked up. Now Westrice trying to run away. Still has the ulti available. Pops it now, but he's been ignited. The damage is going to be enough. Double kill now for Shifter. And top lane is Dignitas.
Well, again, as I said, Dignitas continue to look for those picks. Complexity can only avoid them for so long. They need to answer somewhere else. All these champions being positioned up top for Dig means Complexity have to take something else. Immediately, Robert goes very, very offensive, shoves down bottom in the mid lane and doesn't fight.
Ignite on the Kiwi Kid. Down goes the Zyra. Probably getting locked up. The ulti. Big damage comes in from Shifter. The Zyra pass was well help for that one. 1 for 1.
Crumbs wants to make a pay as well. Coming in here looking for a dive, but he's standing on a ward.
That one's not going to mean too much, but here comes the brawl. Robert trying to go up on QtPie, though mostly ulti is timed out, but big damage comes through, forcing the flash away as well. I mean, QtPie does survive. There's a TP in from the backside by Zion's Spartan. The teleport coming from Mundo as well. Can he keep Robert Exley alive? The man does not have any summons, but Westrice is enough to push back Zion.
Now, they both teleport up there, but the top lane of minions was actually just at the turret, so some minions do get lost to the turret in that exchange. Yes, he does save Robert's life. Robert actually going extremely deep there, using the Blade of the Ruined King active to trade for the QtPie flash. He's got to be very careful, though. As we said, he's out of mana, can't get that speed boost.
Crumb's taking a big chunk of damage there. Will not get chased down. His team's nearby. He does back off of that.
Dragon number 3 live, and Complexity do not want to continue to give those up. They need Robert there. They need the Twitch because without him, they do not have a hope of winning a dragon fight. Now, he did use his ulti in that last assassination attempt, and that's a big part of what Twitch does bring to those dragon fights. Yet they're still starting it off. They got the recall timers there. So Complexity doing a very good job timing the backs here from Dignitas. Bubba Dub, though.
Pretty good damage on Bubba Dub, though. This dragon very, very low. This should get grabbed up. There we go. Broken Shard with the smite. And Dignitas forced to run away. Robert Exley rooted in place. Big burst comes out. Shifter explodes him. Now Prolly forced to run away. Does Dig win this fight? In comes Zion Spartan. 2 kills picked up so far. Bubba Dub makes it 3. Now only 2 members left alive. Broken Shard stunned over the wall by Crumbs. Nice flash by him. Now only Westrice alive. 4-0. For Dragon for Dignitas.
They may have misjudged their damage there a little bit. Were able to get the Dragon, but not quick enough. Great job by Dig collapsing. Not only do they get the kills, which more than make up for Dragon, they also have free reign of the map. 2 waves in their favor. Dignitas now have a huge upper hand in this game, controlling the entire map. Alright, so this is Bubba Dub just getting shot. That means they only have 2 people this whole time. Damage from Mundo and Lee Sin were the only people doing damage to Dragon. They couldn't finish it quick enough. And as we said, if you're Robert, you go for an assassination attempt, be careful about showing up right next to a LeBlanc, because Shifter just blows him up.
Yeah, the confidence too. He thought there were no pink wards bottom. It was one in the top right of the screen that saw him go in toward the fight. And the skill shots kind of led him right in. Wally's ulti also on cooldown from saving Bubba Dub. So all these support tools that could have saved Twitch from the burst weren't there, and he exploded.
Yeah, just forcing that fight around Dragon when they don't have a lot of their very important cooldowns. for Complexity. They thought they could just get it and get out, but then they decided to take the fight there. Got caught around the pit for just too long. Good job by Dig capitalizing, though.
Okay. Crumbs, nice, he repels to save his spiderlings. True support, keeping his little spiderlings alive. Crumbs doing the right thing.
He's gonna have to worry about the main spider here, though.
Westray is gonna put some damage down. The Burning Agony taking down the poor little spiderlings. They're all dead now. Crumbs, human form, trying to get away. The root, he dodges all of it, but not enough damage comes through.
Westray has had some very good jukes so far this game, I have to say.
You know, easy way to land skill shots, he always jukes west.
False.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, shift there. The back away does not land the Broken Shard Q. A bit of damage comes out of the Zyro plant, no big deal in this one, but we're up to a 5,000 gold lead. Dignitas consistently outfighting their opposition. Shifter, he tried to roam so many times, he lost out in CF, but he's 6-0-2 this game. The guy has found his way into so many fights. He's the only death for Robert X. Lee. Knocking the Twitch down in team fight's pretty important for this Dig lineup. And these guys are making it work pretty well. I'm a cutie pie. 180 CS, 004 on Lucian. He's putting in enough work to keep the team afloat. So far, Dig's new lineup, the individuals that got picked up are doing pretty well.
And it's this early game that nobody was really worried about for Dig. Everybody assumed really, especially with the addition of these strong solo lanes, they'd have a strong early game and they would be able to control this stage of the game. However, it is the point where you have trouble finishing off a game. Here we go. Kiwi Kid forced the burn his ult from the ambush of Robert.
Probably face checks the brush. Big damage comes through. A lot of burst. Pops his ult to keep himself alive. Not going to be enough. Shifter picks up the kill. 7-0-2. Robert actually goes back in for Crumbs. He repels into the air, but he's got nowhere to go. He's going to be going down. He stuns up Robert. Broken Shard claims the kill. 1-for-1 there. The re-engage. No real damage from Shifter.
Just a 1-for-1 trade. However, Cutie Pie is shoving a free lane here. So not only did he get free farm, he's also getting turret damage, and that one will go down.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Well, Dignitas taking the turret lead back now, 4-3. Complexity did generally manage to capitalize off the kills they did get into turrets, but Digger is accruing gold from the random champion kills they're getting all around the map. And eventually getting those pushes in. Kiwi Kid added Umbrella Namicon, by the way, to his support build. So we can help keep Mundo's health bar down. That'll be fun to watch for.
Ability power and spell penetration, very, very popular with the Zyra supports, bringing another source of very strong AP damage to a team. She does a lot more than you think, and it will also help out with Mundo, being able to apply that passive with everything that she has, plants included.
So all kinds of scary now. Zion's part level 14 to West Rice's 13. It's not even like 13.8. He's just flat out level 13 here, so the level lead has panned out for the Dig top laner. Blue casting this die off rather rapidly. Shifter looks for a play, can't quite find it, pushed away by Bubba Dub. Ulti comes in, I'm a cutie pie dealing some good damage, shooting backwards just to be stylish. Gonna be alright with that one. Bubba Dub does get away.
Robert does open up again on Kiwi Kid. No ult this time means he has to burn his flash. Well, he does have his ult this time, but he had to flash because he took too much damage, and the ult would not save him. Now, as I was saying before, the Dignitas, everybody expects pretty strong lane phase from them nowadays. However, the end game, closing out games, has been something that has troubled them. It looks like they have a pretty good start, though. They've got great ward coverage in this blue side jungle of Complexity, so they can make picks on that side. And that's the side that leads into Baron. They have one of the most confident Baron spiders. If they can actually set up the Baron area in their favor in terms of vision, Crumbs is an amazing spider. He has very, very strong objective control as far as junglers go, especially being on that Elise.
And Brookshard's tried to test him a couple times this game, and every time so far, Crumbs has come out ahead on the Dragon Smite so far. So he's got the undefeated track record in the season. No miss smites for Crumbs. See how long it takes for anyone to miss any of theirs so far, but right now everyone seems pretty perfect. Crumbs looks at the pick here on a Bubba Dub. He will get the face check from the Karma Cocoon. Doesn't land. Takes the ward down pretty securely though, but there we go. Dragon's back up.
And Complexity playing the waiting game. They have West Rice with a teleport ready, slowly farming up that side lane there, the top lane. Cutie Pie is the one that actually is going to beat him. So really Complexity, they're just trying to wait it out a little bit, delay Dignitas here. As we said, they've been trying to avoid picks all game long.
pick
They
quite
just want to
found.
increase their vision.
Good dodge the Q, everything really nice. Roots up there, and here comes the team fight though. Big Burst comes out in the front line. Complexity forced to run away.
Double tellies.
Damage from Lucian. Westrace shows up, gets rid of them. Pretty low on health, has to flash away. Probably's low.
Oh!
Good pick by Broken Shard, keeps him safe. Now Westrace forced to run away though, but Complexity, good moves aside, still on the retreat.
Yeah, a lot burned as well from Complexity. Westrice ulti, Frawley ulti. The only thing they have left is the Twitch ultimate, which is, well, to be fair, the most crucial around this Baron fight. As we said, they need that vision.
All right, well, Dig going for the B word here in this one. Complexity go for the engage. Can they stop him? Kiwigan roots up Westrace. Damage comes down. Down goes the Twitch right away. Westrace also going to go south, and here comes the Baron attempt. Number 2, low health bars. Broken Shard first, and that triple kill for Shifter. That's going to guarantee the Baron picked up there. Crumb still undefeated in smites.
And Dignitas show just what I was talking about, the correct way to go about the Baron baits. They have complete vision around there. Stray pink wards everywhere. Shifter does make off the successful pick. And they're not only able to get the Baron, but that means because they got 3 more kills, they can secure everything else on the map, buffs and Dragon included. PewDiePie is even going for the greedy shove by himself right now.
Well, they know they're pretty much safe. Only I can stop from Frawley and Bubba Dub, and he can get away from those guys. Watch that fight again. Man, down he goes.
So that's the power of all these pink wards that they invested in. Not only do the pink wards clear out Complexity's vision, but also even if Twitch does try and get off some stealth, opens him up for another Shifter sneak attack. Shifter knows there is no way they knew he was in that side bush. He had a perfect angle to go for that. Just pretty much LeBlanc's dream right there, being able to disperse down the Twitch. As soon as they get that, they know they've won this entire mid-game, basically.
So both times that Robert X. Lee has died now was him walking through, basically in front of pink wards that Dig already had set up, and Shifter one-shots the guy. And it's a repeated pattern here, and it's very well played by Dig to control all this. They played Baron perfectly. They're playing Vision very, very well. It's all good for these guys.
Yeah, all those questions that I posed have definitely been answered. Look at that, 4 more pink wards, even though they still have 2 down.
Yeah.
Can't have 6 on the map.
No.
So somebody is just holding on to 1, even though they already have 1 already up.
Come back,
Dignitas
PewDiePie
have definitely reacted to the problems that they had before. Maybe it's the Scar coaching. Maybe they have just looked over enough replays here. But they are doing a great job. Vision control, not a problem.
Again, and Westrice succumbs to it as well. 2 more pink wards down in the bottom jungle. Dig happy to replace theirs. Move them somewhere else important. Stun on a probably good damage there. Shield's part of it. But now the mid lane under fire. I'm a cutie by putting really good damage down, and there we go. Another turret, 5-3 now. Dignitas, 25 seconds of 5v4. Knocking at the front door.
They've got such a tremendous gold lead as well. You know, they can tank a few power hits here, rely on that Baron regen, and just the threat of Shifter. A 10-kill LeBlanc.
Oh, the flash stun though. Robert X. Lee explodes there in that fight. Bubba Dub forced runaway as well, but the Cooling's going to pick that one up. 2 for 0 so far. Underneath the turret, Dignitas going to keep going.
Ooh, that's going to be at least 1 inhibitor here. They can actually continue the siege on Nexus turrets. They've got minions coming in, and they actually just decide to get another inhibitor down.
Yeah, it's a nice route from Kiwi Kid pushing back Westrace, and there we go. Inhib turret. Number 2 going to fall. Mid lane going to be theirs one more time. 10 seconds until anyone respawns. 5v3. Nice for Dignitas there. They push down more of the base. Minions are gone. We look now for the bottom lane one more time. No supers, but they do have a cannon, and they are going to go for the Nexus turrets now.
All right, Dignitas with a very impressive showing. Will Complexity even try and go for the last stand here?
Oh, they're going to try the respawns now. They have all 5. Here comes the fight. The last Nexus turret will go down to Zion Spartan. 5 versus 5. The last fight for Complexity. Can they make it happen? Westrice in the front, but he's going to explode. Double kill there for Shifter. Explosion, triple kill. Broken Shard stuck inside the base. Everyone going down except the Lee Sin. Quadra kill for Shifter. Will they give it to him? Penta kill for Shifter in his first game on Dignitas. And they're going to start their series out 1-0.
15-0.
Yeah.
So you lose a few CS roaming around. Not a big deal. He's LeBlanc. He gets so many perfect assassinations. Dignitas, not only do they have strong solo lanes, but they had great vision control this time around. They actually won around Baron, mating it.
They played it perfectly. It took us until playoffs to get a pentakill in the LCS in the spring split.
First day.
Took us 4 games. Shifters first. I gotta say, this is an omen of things to come. This is one of the best roster switches in LCS history.
So it looks strong.
Yeah.
We'll see how they can perform against other LCS teams, though, because Complexity are a brand new LCS team.
I mean, it's definitely, sure, it's maybe not the hardest test. It's not like he's pentakilling C9, but this is still a very good performance. Talk about the moves they made, the right choices, finding kills, the Crumbs Shifter synergy, First Blood level 3, right? All these things worked out because they're good players. Skara, he's already there. He knows. He's coach, right? He's going to tell them what to do, and he's got smiles on his face. That guy's not going anywhere from the scene.
He's not very happy in that coaching role as well.
Yeah,
all the players are happy with it. He's happy in that role. A lot less stress on him, not having to actually sit in the chair and perform during the day. So I think it's worked out better for everybody on that team.
Yeah, and they look really awesome. I do want to see how they can perform because we've got a lot of new, stronger faces. You assume CLG, TSM, the rest of these guys made lineup changes for the better. Dignitas look pretty good right now. LMQ, though, also a strong face in the map. EG, we'll see how they do with Altec. As we heard in the very beginning sort of video, when the split started, this guy saying, this is a scary lineup of team. This is going to be a tough split. Like, everyone down the line knows there's a lot of skill on the rosters here.
There definitely is. And that was a positive change for them, it looks like. As he said, Crumb's working pretty well with the solo laners. Zion had some good plays just by himself as well in the top lane.
I do actually want to touch on your Skara coach point, though, a little bit, because it's weird, but I almost feel like that's probably the best roster change for Dig, actually. It's not like, not removing Skara from playing. Like, he's still a good player, but, like, yes, an extremely talented player with years of experience, a great voice, respect from his teammates in the coaching role. And this is something that I think we started seeing in the Western teams in the recent past, is like, look, you get a dedicated coach who's going to put the hours in and help you guys improve. That is the best way to get better as a team.
And the biggest thing about it is that, as you said, they respect Skara. He's been on his team. He paid his dues. He put in his time with the team so they can have unfiltered conversations with him. And they respect his opinion. They can bounce ideas off of him. And that's where the biggest growth comes from, when the players are open to discussion with somebody that they actually value their opinion.
Yeah, so Dignitas is a big group, looking good. We'll see if they can keep that one going. Guys, remember to share your OP plays by tweeting at LOL Esports. Use the hashtag LCS Big Plays. I'm feeling a pentakill might be part of that one.
I don't know.
Like
he gave it to him at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
Seal
did that for Double Lift too, and we still got that one.
Okay.
I mean, it's the respect pentakill. It's like, all right, you earned it. Like the killing hit him, and he's like, you can die.
He did. Basically, he did kill the Twitch at the beginning of all the team fights. So
I guess
he played the most crucial role. Deserves his name in lights.
Brookshot even walked forward to give it to him. You saw he walked by the front of the fountain. It's good manners right there. Well, we're going to head over to the analyst desk, though, to hear more on that last match.
Thank you very much, Freak. We are happy to be joined by Shifter and Crumbs from Team Dignitas, coming off the first win of the season with a bit of a revamped lineup. Shifter, got to say congratulations on the penta. But ultimately, Crumbs, I want to start with you and say, you know, you got 2 new people on the top and the bottom around you, or top and mid, I should say. What's it like working with those guys? How are you feeling about the team?
I couldn't be happier with the position that the team is at. You know, every lane is at the strongest point, I feel like, and really, over the past couple of days, it's just improvement after improvement, and I really feel like with this roster, like with the entire team that we have, everything backing us up, Skara, the coaching, everything, we're going to go places.
Shifter, 15-0, first LeBlanc game on Dignitas. That's a nice start, but at the start of the game, it seemed like you were actually struggling a little bit in lane. How did you turn that one around? You were down in 50 CS at one point.
It was mostly because the initial gank where we got off Probably, I was actually pressuring him really hard because of an early level 2, but I wanted the next wave to shove, so I just, you know, Crumbs, just take it all. I don't care. I just want it back. And I actually did a lot more roaming than staying mid at all. I've went top bot like at least twice before 10 minutes or so.
Crumbs, I kind of want to ask you before we get into the replays, when you have a change like this to 2 of your solo lanes, what did you work with Shifter and Zion, Spartan, and Dignitas to kind of vamp them up and get them ready in time to be at an LCS level with Dignitas' squad?
I mean, going off, obviously they're already an LCS caliber players, but as soon as we found out, we just started duo queuing. That's the easiest way to start getting hype, just duo queue over and over. And honestly, our record of duo queuing, like me combined with either Shifter and Zion, we probably have like 70 wins and like 5 to 10 losses. So it's really nice. Like we barely lose in solo queue. So
power combo.
Yeah, so just duo queuing all the time. That's a nice way to just kind of understand each other as a player. And, I mean, I've played against both of them for a long time, so we kind of know how each one wants to play or how they play. So it's not a crazy change to adapt to.
And of course, it all ended in this game with the pentakill. And we're going to get this up on the screen just so, Shift, you can kind of walk me through, not necessarily the mechanics of this play, but just how are you feeling coming into this last one?
Okay, so all we want to do is try to pop someone because that's the way we could end it. I had my ult up right now, I think.
Yeah.
And if we just killed someone, it'd be an easy 4v5. I got a Champ Mundo, didn't really mean much. We got the Nexus Tower, and then I think we get a really good root on Robert here. A really good Zyral.
Wow.
I get a 3-man distortion or something, get a chain on Robert, and then I just flash Q for the Karma. And then, you know, Broken Shard, really good guy. That respect Penta. Just give it.
Maybe there was an outside chance he thinks he could kill you guys off the Nexus to extend the game a little bit longer.
So coming in on the first game, obviously you guys doing very well. Before we run into our next replay, I want to ask you, Shifter, we talked a little about the Scar coaching. When you came onto the team, was there anything you guys kind of had to talk out where you didn't meet eye to eye as mid laners?
No, I think me and Scar have always talked, you know, even when he was on Dig, we've talked about, you know, mid lane matchups. We did 1v1s with each other, so we kind of knew how each other thought. So it was just really easy to mesh.
Do you guys still do any 1v1 matchups, or are you only practicing against solo queue and other LCS mid laners?
I usually ask Scar about like theory crafting and such, like item builds. I usually 1v1 other LCS mids because they're more in practice. Scar, you know, he just messes around solo queue nowadays, so his mechanics are as top notch as they were before.
Got it.
Right on. And we're going to pull up the second replay on your screen, a dragon fight that we did replay and watch, but just to see it again. Crumbs, walk us through this one as we start. I believe the second dragon here.
This fight, I think, yeah, so we see Mundo. They're trying to finish Dragon, so they're really far behind. So pretty much at this point, they overcommit for Dragon because they're all deep inside the pit. So we're coming in for this. We're saying either blow them to flash over or just keep them there. He gets a nice chain on the stealth Twitch, and then Shyvana's coming in for the flank, and then from this point on, getting Dragon, but being in a poor position to actually fight after is not the best thing. So we ended up pretty much wiping them here. We lost Dragon, but we ended up getting crazy map control. Got red buff after that, got their blue buff, and from then on, it was game over.
Yeah, even though it's objective control, it's not necessarily a good thing because you ended up losing a whole bunch from there.
Yeah.
Where does Dig actually kind of go from here? Because this was obviously Complexity coming in, just qualifying, not expected immediate LCS success, but you guys actually are. So how do you feel like now? I guess I can't get you guys to predict your stuff, but how are you going to be doing for the rest of the week as you're preparing for your upcoming opponents?
I'm feeling a 4-0 this week, to be honest.
Right. Any particular reason?
No, I just think we're a better team than our opponents.
Right on. All right. Knowing that, or thinking that as well, in the beginning of the game, you guys had the 5-minute dragon, kind of had something set to go, ready. Was that planned out, or is that something you could figure out you could take at 5 minutes?
Well, going into that game, we saw that Twitch and Karma were still staying top the entire time. They were freezing the lane for a really long time, and Zion was just jungling, and it happened that his route was going towards Dragon, so he was like, okay, well, if they're going to stay top, obviously their bottom lane doesn't have a TP to get down here. We can just take this free Dragon. And then I think we ended up getting a kill for it too, because maybe Broken Shard tried to flash, was just lurking around trying to get a steal, so we ended up getting a little bit more than just a Dragon. So we did that twice and ended up just getting a big lead off that.
Right on.
Yeah, and this couldn't have been a better start for your guys' LCS season, but everyone kind of started out. Now we're going to have our first teams playing their second game, LMQ versus COG. Do you guys have any quick predictions for the final game of the day?
That's going to be a wild one.
Yeah, both teams, I don't know, they're both looking really strong. COG, I know, just in scrims, they do really well against us. I think Link has improved, like, he's amazing right now. Like, after All-Stars, he just came back and he's just destroying everyone.
After being touched by Fake.
After the bigger handshake.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Congrats on the Penta, and to Dignitas, congrats on the first win of the season for you guys. All right, everyone, we got to go back and spend some gold. But when we return, we'll get into our final game of the day. That's Counterlogic Gaming versus LMQ. Keep that browser where it's at.
You know, that's the theme of the last Pink Floyd album, the Division Bell, that communication solves everything.
I'm here with you guys.
We can definitely take this. Just take this. I'm coming in. Take the fight after. Force them to all flash out. Twitch is behind. Twitch is self.
Twitch is
hit. I stun Lulu.
I'm coming over.
Okay, I'm on Lulu.
I'm ulting. I'm gonna ult them. Okay.
I'm above it up. I got nothing.
I don't have anything.
I'm gonna flash kick
I'm on
Lee.
broken
I'm
shot.
flashing
I'm
Lee.
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 Okay.
Nice.
Go mid.